A'udhu billahi minash shaitanir rajim. Bismillahir rahmanir rahim. My dear brothers and sisters in Islam, friends and well-wishers of Nigeria across the world, I greet you in the name of God, the most gracious, the most merciful. My name is Sheikh Ahmad Momo, founder and promoter of the House of Dua, a Nigerian-American resident in the United States of America. I'm sure you have heard the news. The news that the President of America, in the person of Mr. Donald Trump, has given instructions to the American military to begin preparing a plan to conduct a military strike against Nigeria. And the reason given for it is to protect the Christians in Nigeria. This is based on the allegation that there is genocide going on in Nigeria and that the victims of that genocide are the Nigerian Christians. Nothing can be further from the truth. Before we allow this military strike to be unleashed on the people of Nigeria, I have considered it necessary in my capacity to advise the President of the United States of America. Perhaps he had not gotten the facts right. Before I do that, let me remind the President that Nigeria is a unique country which has historical, political, and economic similarities with the United States of America. Just as the United States of America emerged from the shadows of colonialism under the British government, so Nigeria struggled to free itself from the British colonial power. Just as America fought a civil war to keep this country united, so Nigeria fought a civil war to build the unity that exists in that country today. Just as America believes in the concept of capitalism and the presidential system of government, so does Nigeria. And just as America is a secular nation, a home to several religions, so is Nigeria. It's also a fact that up to 10% of the petroleum products consumed in the United States of America comes from Nigeria. The primary point of call for Nigerians who desire to migrate from Nigeria is always the United States of America. And indeed, Nigeria is a friend of America, if not an ally. In this country, we have a large population of Nigerians, many of whom are working in several capacities, helping to build this great nation. It's therefore unthinkable that with this kind of great relationship, America is thinking of how to strike against Nigeria. Nigeria is a nation of over 270 million people, and it's a country of different religions, predominantly Islam and Christianity. Christians and Muslims in Nigeria are almost at par in terms of number and strength. Nigeria is a country of the most remarkable ethnic differences, cultural differences, language differences, and even though tribes and tongues may differ, in brotherhood, Nigerians stand. The allegation that there's religious genocide going on in Nigeria sounds as an embarrassment to the Muslims and Christians and other religions in Nigeria. This is because for hundreds of years, Muslims and Christians in Nigeria, as well as other religions, have lived side by side peacefully, with each one becoming the brother and sister of the other. Nigerian Christians gladly join Nigerian Muslims to celebrate their religious festivals. Nigerian Muslims gladly join their Christian counterparts to celebrate their Christian festivals. They share meals together. They intermarry. They love one another. They pull together in times of difficulties. They have an inseparable union among themselves. And even in the realm of religion, they have what we call interfaith dialogue from time to time. Nigeria is the most religious country in the world in terms of the number of mosques, churches, synagogues, and traditional religious institutions. And Nigeria is proud of that because it's able to weld these different groups into a harmonious relationship. Yes, Nigeria, like every other nation in the world, has its own share of social, economic, religious, and other challenges of human nature. It has gone through a long period of military dictatorship and established the institution of democracy. Since 1999, therefore, Nigeria has become fully a democratic country in Africa. And it's in the forefront of bringing Africans together. Every 5 human beings in Africa is a Nigerian. It's the most populous nation in Africa, without doubt. These facts are important because when you are talking of conducting a military strike against Nigeria, first of all, we would like to know why, in spite of the good relationship between America and Nigeria. And we will also want to know in what manner. There is a problem in Nigeria which the country has been facing for years now. And that is the emergence of a terrorist organization that calls itself Boko Haram. And without doubt, the goal of Boko Haram is to use Islam to divide Nigeria. And Nigerians are aware of this. The Christians are aware of this. The Muslims are aware of this. And that's why the Boko Haram itself has not succeeded. As I say, it's a social, political, terrorist organization, recruiting its members from within the fold of Christians and Muslims and other religions in Nigeria, and who are the victims of Boko Haram's attack from time to time, either the Christians, the Muslims, or the non-Christians and the non-Muslims. The highest number of deaths as a result of Boko Haram attack in Nigeria are Muslims. Yes, the Christians are not left out in the campaign of Boko Haram. Nigerians have been struggling against this ugly phenomenon. And if the United States of America and the advanced countries had come to the aid of Nigeria right from the beginning, this problem would have been a thing of the past. But then, with its limited resources, Nigeria has not rested trying to eliminate Boko Haram from the social and religious fabric of Nigeria. Now, if you are conducting a military strike, you want to know, where is that strike going to take place? Is it against the Nigerian government you are talking about, or against the Boko Haram that is giving Nigeria a problem? And where do the Boko Haram live? Are they in Nigeria? The answer is no. They live in the Sahel bushes of Africa. They come to our country, conduct strikes, and disappear. That's why it has been problematic to pin them down. If your desire is to go to the Sambisa forest between Nigeria and Niger Republic and Chad Republic, good for you. But Nigeria does not deserve a military strike as a nation. Because in spite of the differences we have in religion, in culture, and ethnic differences, Nigerians have been living together in peace. That's why we want to take this opportunity to call on Mr. President. Whatever your sources of information may be, don't do it. Stop it. Leave Nigeria alone. If you cannot help to eliminate Boko Haram from the social-religious fabric of Nigeria, then leave Nigeria alone. Nigeria is a country that loves law and order, peace and unity, not only for itself, but for its neighbors. It's one of the countries in the world that has never initiated a war against any neighbor. It's among the few countries that have recognized and abided by the decision of International Court of Justice over boundary dispute. Nigeria voluntarily gave up a piece of viable land that belonged to her, to a neighbor, in compliance with the judgment of the International Court of Justice. So, Nigeria is a peace-loving nation in Africa. To think of going to strike the country, therefore, sends shivers and confusion to the minds of Nigerians and friends of Nigeria across the world. Especially so that everyone knows that Nigeria has played its fair role in the Committee of Nations. And dear Mr. President, if the allegation is that there is religious war in Nigeria or the Christians are being persecuted, as for the facts, that is far from reality. Therefore, you will be conducting a military strike against an innocent population. We are therefore using this opportunity to call on you, Mr. President, to shed the dagger, to hold your gunpowder, to leave Nigeria alone. Mr. President, Nigeria may be struggling economically. Nigeria may be having its own fair share of social and political differences, but it's not unique to that situation. In Nigeria, more than anything else, religion is our strength. It's our asset, not a liability. When it comes to religion, yes, we are brothers to one another. Every 100 homes in Nigeria, there is more than 1 or 2 churches and mosques and synagogue and traditional African religion. In every urban center in Nigeria, there are more than 20 congregational places of worship for either the Christians, the Muslims, or the non-Christians and the non-Muslims. What Nigeria has is Allah, the one who revealed this book. God, that the Christians call upon by their adherence to this book, the Bible. These 2 books are brothers and sisters in Nigeria. They live side by side, and they have been so and will wish to be so for the future. It is therefore my privilege, Mr. President, to join the voices of wise men and women across the world to call on you to stop it. We cannot afford to start a war in Africa, a war that may be easy to start, but may not be so easy to resolve. Right, not too far away from Nigeria is Sudan, which is burning right now. Nigeria is at this moment the place of refuge for those who are fleeing from those conflagrations. We cannot afford another one like that in Africa. And as I said, every 5 persons in Africa is in Nigeria. That will tell you the impact a war going on in Nigeria in this moment in human history, the consequences of it on mankind. It will be a disaster. When you strike Nigeria, you are by implication destroying the long-held tradition of peace and harmony that exists between the Muslims and the Christians. Mr. President, I appeal to you from the bottom of my heart to think again. And let me call on my fellow Americans. Yes, America is the superpower of today's world. It's better to use that power to help uplift those who are down below, to help other countries overcome their problems. It's important for us to understand that the strong man is not the one who can wrestle others down. is the one who can swallow anger in the face of provocation. Therefore, Mr. President, use your position to uplift others, to bring the whole world together, to help the poor. And in fact, don't allow your attention to be diverted from the good work you have been doing to initiate a strike against Nigeria. It will be counterproductive. And I hope you will listen to the voices of those who are telling you, don't do it. Thank you very much. May Allah bless the United States of America. May Allah bless the country of Nigeria. And may Allah bless the entire mankind. Thank you.